Greetings, subscribers. This phase of the project will concentrate and focus on the pencil rendering or the sketching of the project. This project in particular is the Dave Matthews Band laminate or credential poster. Basically, it's the first time we've tried this, and it's basically a poster that will. It'll be a full illustrated poster, but then portions of the poster will be cropped in and then taken and used as a laminate. And the Dave Matthews Band, they have 9 different laminates that are included for each show. And each laminate has to be different than the other one. So what this poster will do is, hopefully will do, is we'll depict the tour, and then it also give an opportunity to use 9 different parts of the illustration as credentials. So how I started was this scribbly mess. It's just usually how I start, hot and heavy, just really heavy-handed. And even though I'm using, of course, the Cintiq and the digital pencil, it still really reacts really like a pencil. I'm very heavy-handed when I write, and I could never use mechanical pencils because I would just break them all the time. So anyway, so this allows me, this program, and this, I use Corel Painter, by the way. This program allows me to really kind of hone in the sketches by working on layers, and what you can see here is the different layers that I'm using. And I tend to use a lot of layers and just get tighter and tighter and tighter as I overlay another layer with more detail. So this would be the first sketch of the idea that I had. And as you can see, each little character represents a region of the United States. And then the basic concept is, in this illustration, is they're all standing in line to go to the show, basically representing the tour. And instead of concentrating on like different icons like the Statue of Liberty or the St. Louis Arch, I'm decided to go for more of the characters that represent the regions, like a cowboy that is very similar looking to Willie Nelson, but so the cowboy for Texas, the Paul Bunyan for the Northwest, got a fisherman for like Maine, New England states, and Bigfoot, an alien. Then you have an ant and a kind of a old hippie dude over there. So anyway, I tried to use characters to represent regions instead of doing a specific character or object or icon or attraction for every city they play, because they play a lot of cities, and that would be maddening. So anyway, so I have the project to this phase, and then after this phase, I can take this layer and I can push it way back into the transparency, the opaqueness back, right? And that'll allow me, just like putting a piece of parchment or a tracing paper on a light box, it allows me to work on the next layer, which is this. And you can see how on this layer, I'm just adding more detail and more, I'm getting more tighter with the drawing. I'm adding some face features, some little narration pieces, vegetation and stuff like that, just kind of tighten it up, right? So after this is done, and once again, I'm kind of indicating where all the Dave Matthews signs go, where those will be laminates eventually. Once I get to this phase, I can once again take that the same way and I fade that way back. And so then once again, I just do like I did before. I trace over top of it, and I'm getting tighter and tighter. So if I zoom in on here, you can see where I'm really adding the final details that I'll have ready for me when I go to executing the technique onto it. As far as the technique goes, I'm not positive if I want to do it in Illustrator or not, but regardless, it still has to have a solid drawing, because the more solid drawing that you have, the more confident and the easier it will be when you actually render this in whatever technique that you choose. I think there's nothing worse than having to maneuver or adjust a drawing when you're actually executing the technique onto it, like painting or whatever. Um, let's say if I got to painting and I'm like, oh, I don't like the head there, or I don't like the hand here, but I'm already coloring it, and it just makes it really difficult. So if it's best to just really get your pencil drawing to a point where it's tight enough to know where your ink line or your pencil line or your final painting, your color, whatever technique you're going to use, your vector line, where it's all going to go. So have a good foundation, have a good pencil drawing, and you'll have a much easier time of it when you start applying the final technique. So right here, as you can see, that pencil's a little too thick, so I'll thin my pencil up a little bit, still a little bit. So here I'm just sketching in just some foliage. And this kind of relates. I'm trying to gradually bring in different environmental elements that relate to the next illustration, the next character. So the jungle kind of foliage, the leaves and stuff will kind of relate to the creature of the Black Lagoon type creature. And I find that some of this stuff will go away when I start to color if it gets too busy, but it is best to have it in there anyway, because I can always get rid of it. So I'm just kind of drawing these little, and some flowers, of course, right? Got to have flowers and birds and rabbits and clouds. Okay, so this takes a little while. It's not bad because I have the foundation drawing pretty good, but I'm just basically kind of adding some nuances, some curves, some added detail that I didn't have in the layer below this. So as you can see, I'm just kind of filling in these areas. Like I said, some of these areas, some of this detail will be deleted if it's too busy, but I need to have it in there to start with, because it's easier for me to take away stuff once I start coloring than it is to add it in the middle of a rendering. So anyway, so I had that pretty much filled out. You can see where I added, the desert mesas turned into more of like a Mars kind of thing. And then the trees, of course, are small, which shows scale for Paul Bunyan. And this cowboy dude. And then, of course, I think the first show was Austin, maybe, or an early show anyway. So the longhorn steer, the little scorpion. So added some details like that. So with the Cintiq, with this program, and with the Cintiq Wacom with this program, it's really easy to zoom in and out, and then it's all a toggle switch on the left side of the screen. This side you can't see my hand. It's a toggle switch over there, I promise. So anyway, so it allows me to zoom in and out, and then also allows me to I can scale my brushes with this little toggle switch on the side. I'll go over some of those details on another part of this Patreon. So as I'm doing this, I'm just my little creature, the Black Lagoon guy. Just kind of, all I'm doing is just kind of making it tighter. So when it comes time for the final, possibly Adobe Illustrator, I'm not sure yet, but probably, I'll know exactly where the lines are. So. It's great. It's great having the ability to, Command Z to undo stuff. It's like, it really allows me to explore. I don't think that it makes, of course, I don't think it makes you a better illustrator. It just allows you to try different things, and it's more about saving time. It's a tool that allows you to do things quicker instead of having to redraw redraw the whole thing on another piece of paper or use an eraser, which gets kind of messy. And so, yeah, so this is the creature from the Black Lagoon kind of character, in which he will represent more like the Florida area of the tour. So anyway, so I'll finish this up and I'll see you on the other side.